Imagine sinking slowly into the dark ocean, descending into the pitch-black abyss of the Mariana Trench. Here, under millions of tons of water pressure, temperatures hover just above the freezing point of water. For years, internet videos and articles have claimed that a prehistoric monster is still lurking down here. They tell stories of the giant Megalodon shark, suggesting it survived extinction by hiding in deep trenches. Welcome to Continent vs. Ocean. Today we decode the biological truth and expose the Megalodon myth. To understand the reality, we must first examine the incredible physical design of this prehistoric apex predator. Growing up to 18 meters in length, Megalodon was the largest shark that ever swam the oceans. Its fossilized teeth, some larger than a human hand, reveal a mouth measuring over 2 meters wide. With a bone-crushing bite force of 40,000 pounds per square inch, it possessed the most powerful jaws in evolutionary history. This immense predator was engineered to hunt the ocean's largest beasts, specifically prehistoric whales. To sustain such a massive body, Megalodon required an enormous amount of daily food energy. A mature Megalodon needed to consume more than 1 ton of whale meat and fat every day. Because of this massive energy requirement, Megalodon was restricted to highly productive warm coastal waters. Prehistoric oceans were warm, shallow, and filled with abundant schools of small ancient whales. This was the perfect hunting ground, allowing the giant predator to feed and maintain its body temperature. Unlike modern cold-blooded sharks, Megalodon possessed a unique physiological adaptation called regional endothermy. It could maintain a body temperature warmer than the surrounding water, boosting its muscle power. This semi-warm-blooded design gave it speed and agility, making it a highly effective hunter of whales. But this advanced biological hardware came with a devastatingly high metabolic cost for the shark. Megalodon had to keep swimming constantly to breathe and find prey to feed its internal engine. Any drop in food availability or water temperature would threaten its complex survival balance. Then, approximately 3.6 million years ago, the global climate began to change dramatically. The Earth entered a period of cooling, marking the beginning of the Pleistocene ice ages. Glaciers expanded at the poles, and ocean currents shifted, cooling the global sea temperatures. For Megalodon, this temperature drop acted as a biological trap, closing its warm water hunting grounds. As the shallow coastal waters cooled, the warm zones where Megalodon lived began to shrink rapidly. The deep ocean trenches like Mariana became near-freezing deserts with temperatures around 2 degrees Celsius. For a mesothermic predator like Megalodon, surviving in such extreme cold is physiologically impossible. Its internal organs would fail, its muscles would stiffen, and it would freeze to death quickly. Furthermore, deep trenches are pitch-black deserts with almost no food to sustain a giant shark. The few creatures that live in the abyss are tiny, nutrient-poor, and completely insufficient for Megalodon. The idea of a 60-ton shark feeding on tiny deep-sea crabs is a biological joke, but the temperature drop was only the first blow to the king of the oceans. As the oceans cooled, the prehistoric whales that Megalodon hunted faced their own survival challenges. Whales, being mammals, adapted to the cold water by developing thick layers of insulating blubber. This new insulation allowed them to migrate to the cold, nutrient-rich polar regions. The polar seas offered massive blooms of plankton, providing an endless food supply for the whales. But for the giant Megalodon, following its prey into these freezing polar waters was impossible. The extreme cold of the Arctic and Antarctic oceans was a barrier the shark could not cross. Megalodon was trapped in the shrinking bands of warm water near the equator, starving. The whales thrived in the cold, growing larger and safer from the giant predator. This separation of predator and prey broke the ecological chain that sustained Megalodon for millions of years. As if food shortage and cold temperatures were not enough, new competitors entered the arena. During this period of transition, a smaller, more efficient hunter emerged: the great white shark. Great whites were smaller, requiring far fewer calories to survive than the giant Megalodon. They could tolerate cooler waters, allowing them to hunt in areas that Megalodon could not reach. The young Megalodons, which shared the same nurseries, had to compete directly with great whites. Great whites were faster and more agile, outcompeting juvenile Megalodons for limited coastal prey. This competition severely reduced the number of Megalodon pups that survived to adulthood. At the same time, another formidable predator was rising in the oceans: the killer whale. Ancestral orcas evolved high-speed team coordination, hunting in packs to target large marine mammals. While a single orca was no match for a Megalodon, a coordinated pod was extremely dangerous. Orcas hunted the same whales that Megalodon needed, further depleting the giant shark's food supply. The combination of losing its prey, cold waters, and intense competition pushed Megalodon to the brink. Over thousands of years, the population of the giant shark dwindled as breeding pairs failed. Starvation became common, and the top predator of the ancient seas slowly vanished from the fossil record. By 3.6 million years ago, the extinction of Megalodon was complete and final. In the modern world, the ocean is ruled by different forces, each adapted to their niche. The great white shark occupies the role of the solitary coastal apex fish predator. The orca rules the deep blue sea through family culture, intelligence, and unmatched teamwork. If Megalodon were still alive today, we would see clear evidence of its existence in the oceans. A 60-ton predator swimming in coastal waters cannot hide from modern sonar and satellite tracking. We would find giant bite marks on modern whales, which are completely absent today. Whale carcasses dat bow would show signs of giant teeth, but we only see orca marks. Furthermore, Megalodon teeth would continue to shed and wash onto beaches, which does not happen. All fossilized Megalodon teeth found by scientists are at least 3 million years old. The science is clear. Megalodon is gone, and it is never coming back to our oceans. Its extinction was not a tragedy, but a necessary step for modern marine life to evolve. Without the threat of the giant killer whales could grow to the massive sizes we see today. The blue whale, the largest animal to ever exist, could only evolve after Megalodon disappeared. Megalodon's legacy remains written in stone, a testament to a time of giants and titans. It was the ultimate expression of raw predatory power, a biological masterpiece of its era. But nature's laws are absolute, and when the environment changes, even the strongest must adapt or die. The giant shark could not adapt to the cold and paid the ultimate price of extinction. While Megalodon ruled the prehistoric seas, the land was developing its own giant killers. Today, the balance of nature remains a delicate dance between land, sea, and sky. The Mariana Trench remains a cold, quiet place home only to strange deep-sea creatures. It is a museum of pressure and darkness, not a hiding place for prehistoric monsters. When you look at the ocean, remember the giants that once swam beneath the waves. But rest assured that the waters are safe from the jaws of the 60-ton killer. The modern ocean belongs to the orca, the great white, and the magnificent whales. They represent the peak of modern evolutionary design, perfectly balanced with their environment. Meanwhile, Megalodon's shadow continues to haunt our imagination through movies and novels. We love to fear the monster in the dark, even when science tells us it is gone. This psychological need to create monsters is a unique trait of human culture. We look at the vast unexplored sea and populate it with our deepest nightmares. But the real monsters of the wild are often the ones we fail to protect. Conservation of modern apex predators like sharks and whales is our current responsibility. Losing them would disrupt the delicate balance of the ocean, leading to ecological collapse. Unlike Megalodon, whose end was natural, their threat comes directly from human activity. We must learn from the past to protect the rulers of the modern oceans. The story of Megalodon is a reminder of the power of nature and climate. Ultimately, even the most terrifying predator cannot survive when the world shifts beneath it. To discover why the Amazon's deadliest bird is mistaken for a monster, click this video now.